Hidradenitis Queen. I'm back on the scene and I'm super late. I was supposed to have been posting these weekly, and long story short, like when you have something planned and you want to do it, but when it gets down to it, you kind of discover that it's not as easy to talk about it as you thought it was. And I thought that I was going to just make a quick video about how to date and how to okay, I'm sitting in the car, so don't look over there, look over here. Okay. So I thought that I would be able to just talk about, okay, how to date with hidradenitis and love and sex life, and it should be simple because I got this, I'm engaged, and it's, it's a journey. But long story short, I made the video and I looked at it and I was just not pleased with it, and I scratched it, and decided to just start over. I was being truthful, but I just felt like I wasn't keeping it at 100% real, because it took a lot to get to where I am now. And I don't want to skip those hurdles or those trials and tribulations, because it was a lot more to it than what I was saying. So I'm not going to make this video super long, but I do just want to apologize for, kind of breaking that commitment. I didn't realize that there were some things that I'm still healing from, and that I did not realize it until I actually sat down and tried to talk about it, that how much I had really just put it to the back burner. But it plays a lot into your development, your growth, being able to speak your truth. It really is freedom in it. It's really healing in speaking your truth. And I just wanted to make sure that I speak the entire truth, because y'all didn't ask me to put my business out there. I just kind of volunteered because I felt like I could be helping someone else. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get it. This segment is how to love, how to find love, how to date, maintain healthy relationship with HS. I will start from, I always start with a little brief history about me. I grew up very shy, timid, soft-spoken, and not so confident. I knew one thing though. I knew I had a pretty face, and I figured if I could work with it, then it wouldn't be hard to find someone. But then at the end of the day, it was like, well, eventually, I'm going to have to take my clothes off, or they're going to see me naked. Will they run once they see the rest of my body past the face? So I had to get past that pretty face syndrome to like really realize, like, eventually, my body could hold me back from finding love. And that's just what I thought at the time. So dating in high school and so forth, I'll be honest, like, my pull game was real strong. Like, surprisingly, like, I was getting whatever dude I wanted, like, not just the leftovers, the ones that nobody wanted to pick. Like, I was literally getting the fine shorties. Like, I was pulling dudes, and I don't even know how, because in high school I definitely wasn't having sex like people thought I was, but I really wasn't. But I kind of let that whole rumor notion go around that I was having sex, because it was just like, one, I really didn't care what people thought of me, but two, I figured, well, I'd rather them think something else of me than what was the truth, because having a bad reputation was not worse than having this condition. So if it was going to be put out there that I was doing something, even though I really wasn't, then at least it would take the distraction off of what I was trying to hide and cover up, which was this horrible skin disease. So I did have a boyfriend in high school for like 3 years, and he knew about it. I eventually, I told him, and he accepted me for who I was. He loved me, and, and it was a good relationship, other than the teenage stuff that really happened. So it didn't work out in the end, but I know, and looking back to the day, I know that little boy, he loved me with all his heart, like he did. And, the love was returned. So I used positive relationships to set my goals and my standards for what I was looking for. So no, the relationship didn't work, but I'm going to carry the positivity. I'm going to carry what did work in that relationship, and I'm going to take that to the next relationship. So I'm not saying treat your ex like the next, but I'm saying take heed to what worked, because you don't want to go into your next relationship accepting, disrespect, accepting something that you didn't have. Like, don't degrade, upgrade every time. And I guess what helped me find the love that I was looking for is that I had to learn, first and foremost, you have to learn how to love yourself. You have to be whole with who you are. And it's hard to accept you for you when, to be honest, like, I didn't even like me for me. I didn't like my body. And so I didn't like myself. And so it took me until like really my college years, getting my own apartment, to really just kind of get comfortable with who I was. Before, it was like I thought I could just cover it up, or the people that I told that I were dating and was actually serious enough about to tell, they did, seem to love me. And after I told them, I've never had someone to just be like, oh, yuck, I'm just gonna, leave you alone because of it. But at the end of the day, it was in the back of my mind when relationships didn't work, and I'll be thinking like, dang, well, did he find someone with more beautiful skin? Did he find someone that, he could show off in a bikini? I mean, just any, they're just those kind of insecure thoughts that you kind of get when things don't work out and you don't really know why. That's why, it's so important, especially, with or without this condition, it's so important, to get that closure, because especially if you have something going on with you, because it can create insecurity. You think the boy left you because of, or the girl left you because of your condition, and they could have just left you because you had a nasty attitude. They could have just left you because maybe you was just a little bit too needy, a little bit too insecure. So, insecurity is just, it doesn't look good, and it is a reason that people break up with you. It is. So when the first key to finding true love is you have to love yourself. You have to find that confidence in yourself before you can jump into something with someone else, because you're carrying all that baggage, and you are taking the scars from your pain and you cutting somebody else with your pain, and you can't do that if you are trying to find love. So that's really the whole thing. You got to love yourself. Choose your past healthy relationships to set a foundation of what your expectations. I noticed that when I set myself up to a standard, that I knew that when I got into a relationship that I expected that from the other person. So what does that mean? That means I respected myself. So when a dude want to step to me, he knows that he has to respect me because I respect me. If I don't call myself, the B word, if I don't refer to myself as a hoe, I know he's not going to call me the B word, and he's never going to refer to me as a hoe, even when he is upset with me. So just setting those standards for, yourself helps people, reciprocate the love you show yourself back to you. So, that's pretty much what I did. I had to carry myself like how I wanted to be treated. And that really helped me out in the long run, because, dudes knew if they stepped to me, they had to have their, A game. They had to have their stuff together, because I wasn't just accepting anything and anybody. I'm a down woman. Like, if you're down, I'm down with you. If I got it, you got it. But at the same time, I'm not just going to be giving myself out there and putting myself out there like that. Now, I'm not going to say that I never have, and I'll get to that because it's been a journey. Like, when I say I had to redo this video, like, I had to redo it because I wanted to give y'all the real. Not just, I'm not here to just talk about the ring and say, oh, it's possible, you can do it. I'm going to, tell you how rough, how close I came to dying, on the inside and the outside to get to this place where I am. And I'm sitting here right now. It's where I am. I went to North Carolina A&T for about 1.5 years. I did not finish. I was in and out of school inconsistently, very depressed. It's actually GHO. That's what we call it, homecoming right now. And I'm sitting in the car. when I was supposed to been, I had planned on walking the campus, but I could not really enjoy myself until I got this out of my system. So, back to what I'm saying, there were some bumps and some bruises that came along with this liberation of where I am now, and I am still being healed as well, from things that happened to me in the past. So what did I have to go through to get to this point right now? Well, let me tell you, back when I had just transferred to A&T from a school that I was doing actually really well in, I went to Virginia Union University in Richmond, Virginia for a year, a small private Christian school, did exceedingly well. Well, I'm going to say exceedingly, but I was never an honor roll. Well, yes, I was an honor roll student, but I never kept my grades, honor roll all year. But I was actually on the dean's list at this school. I was doing pretty well at this school. So why didn't it work out? Why did I end up transferring? Well, something in me just felt like I was missing out on something. A more honest answer is, I left because I was in love with this boy, and I just knew we was gonna be together. And in my head, he told me we was gonna be together. I think he did, actually. In actuality, I think he did. I don't think I would just leave everything like that. I can't really remember. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I mean, when you think you're in love, you listen to anything anybody says, and you believe them because your heart wants to, And if that makes me gullible and kind of stupid, then oh well. Because you'll look a fool for love and for the wrong one sometimes, but I still thank God for those moments because it brought me to what true love is, and so I don't regret it. I moved out here to Greensboro from Virginia, and thought I was going to be with him. He was the one that knew my secret, and I was just like, okay, well, this is it. I don't want to have to tell anybody else we're going to be together. Well, I got here on campus, and I wouldn't say he acted like he didn't know me, but he didn't know me. He acted like, I was just the next, I don't know. It wasn't what I thought it was when I got here. So that kind of put me in a depression, but other things factored into, my mom being sick and all this with the terminal illness that I was just finding out about it. So a lot of things factored into the depression that I went through. So I had started just kind of being careless with my body, not treating my body like a temple. And long story short, I became promiscuous, and I ended up getting raped at somebody's off-campus housing. I was unconscious when it happened. You think that would have been a wake-up call. It was the scariest moment of my life, not knowing, what happened per se, but just waking up the next morning and seeing and feeling those, just getting those after sex, routines like pee funny, it's not coming out right, smelling like sex, and you don't know why because you have no recollection of sex. And I mean, the guy was fine. He would have got it if he just asked. But I mean, the fact that he waited, till I passed out, it was, it violated it. It was violating. And, I did not mention that in the first video. That's why, another reason why I wanted to do it over again. I wanted to make it right. I don't have a lot of time left. So I will say that after getting raped, it was a wake-up call that I need to be more secure with myself and my body, because, like, what if a friend was with him? You know what I'm saying? What if they, just kind of took turn? I mean, anything could have happened that night. I could have died that night, if I wasn't careful. So I don't really pride myself, and I'm not making it a big deal if I don't make it, to GHO activities. I don't pride myself on going out to parties anymore. I don't pride myself into, trying to be with the popular people and all of these things, because I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get through this. Oh my goodness, like it's so hard, like talking about it because I never really talked about it. Long story short, put your trust in someone that you know that's going to have your back. Trust your partner. Please don't go out there being promiscuous, guys. Especially with this. I know y'all want to have a sex life. You know, you want to be normal. You want to just be able to do what you see on TV and things of that nature. But you've got to be careful. You've got to treat your body like a temple because anything can happen to you. Anything can happen. I just encourage you to not be out there like that as much as possible. I know sometimes things happen, you know, even after that experience, things still happen. And it took me a minute to get to the point where I loved myself. And how I learned to love myself was I had started dating myself. I started going out with myself, started getting my hair done, started getting my nails, my toes done, things to make me feel good, so that, you know, when my partner came and stepped to me, he saw how, you know, he saw my expectations through how I treated myself and how I love myself. And so he replicated that, you know, that love. Well, let me get your hair done, babe. Do your toes need fixing up? You need a little filling, you know, things like that. I mean, I'm not saying that's what it's all about. But when you learn to love yourself, people will love you the way you love you. Okay, so that's my point. I gotta go, but I will be posting regularly. My next video will be about a hydronitis diet. I will be talking about inflammation.
If this was helpful to you or could be to anyone you know, especially with the hidradenitis suppurativa, please share, like, and comment. This is a small family community with big hopes of transforming HS into a worldwide movement. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button along with the bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. As always, it's truly been a pleasure pouring out to you guys. Even though this week was a tad challenging, thank you for going there with me. And remember, not everyone can go where you are growing. Remember, your cure to everything starts with love. From the inside out, stay informed, be aware, and remain encouraged.